So welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here today. My name is Maggie Elke, and I'm the founder of Homeschool with Maggie O and the author of the Homeschool Roadmap. And I love having intimate groups like this because we can have more one-on-one time and really get a lot done. And I think you're going to be excited with how much we get done today, especially since y'all are new. You're going to like this part. But I want to tell you just a little bit about my story, kind of take you back to an afternoon that changed the entire trajectory of my life, really. And this was before I had children. I used to be a dental hygienist. I was working in Austin, and on this particular day, I was seeing a family of 5 kids, and they were all homeschooled. Back in that day, I didn't know what homeschooling was. It wasn't something that was talked about very much out in the public, and it was before it was trendy. And so those kids, they just touched my heart. I just adored the children. They were bright, they were intelligent, they could look me straight in the eye, just like you're doing right now, and they had confidence. And they were not intimidated by the fact that a total stranger was sitting here asking them a whole bunch of questions about homeschooling that could have maybe made them feel defensive, but they didn't feel that way. They gladly shared their experience, and they are the ones that educated me about what homeschooling is and what it looked like in their lives every day. And so I left there that night, driving home from work. I had about a 45-minute drive, and I knew right then and there, no matter what it took, I was going to homeschool my kids. Keeping in mind, I didn't have children yet. So then fast forward, my husband and I have our children, and 20 years later, I homeschooled both of our boys from kindergarten all the way through high school graduation and into college entrance. Graduated one. I have a second one that's in his junior year of electrical engineering school at Texas A&M. And our homeschool was founded on our Christian principles, and we had a plan. So hold on to that. We had a plan. This is my husband too. He's going to be joining as well. This is Brian. The beautiful part also about this story is that now the research is coming out, and it is supporting what those kids all those years ago taught me. The research says that homeschoolers typically score about 15 to 25% more and higher than their public school peers. Now, the important and kind of interesting part about that research as well is that it is not based on the parents' educational level or their household income. Not on their education or household income. So the question isn't about, am I qualified? The question is, do I have a plan? And that's where I come in. That's why I wrote the Homeschool Roadmap from my 20 years of experience. And I look at moms just like you, and I know that you're worried, perhaps you're asking questions. How do I even get started? How am I going to handle all this? As the kids get older, how do you continue this process? How do you deal with upper level grades? How do I choose curriculum? And what if those rumors about socialization are true? Am I going to mess my kids up? Those are all normal, valid questions to be asking. And that's why I do what I do. Because here's the thing. If you have a plan, a roadmap, those questions, those fears, they turn into confidence. And you're second guessing yourself about curriculum. When you have this roadmap, well, that turns into clarity. And suddenly, instead of asking, can I really do this? You're going, I can do this, because you know you can. And I'm right here with you every step of the way. You don't have to do this alone, because there is a great community of homeschoolers, especially in our area where we are. We also start with your why. Then we go into learning styles, and then we talk about curriculum. And that's what we're going to cover today. In that order every single time. It doesn't matter if you're starting with a kindergartner, a second grader, a first grader, a sixth grader. You're always going to do this process the same way. Your why, mom's why, your learning styles, your children's learning styles, and then we fit curriculum to their learning style so that you're not working against them the whole time. And so let's build your roadmap together. You have your workbook. We're going to go through this, and we're going to do it together. You have a pen. And I always put a little friendly welcome, because I love you guys. We're friends forever now. And then, like I said, today this is the agenda. We're gonna first talk about your why. So your why, you really need to get strong on that, because that becomes your anchor. It's your anchor today, and it's gonna be your anchor on days that are gonna be difficult. And there will be those days, it just happens. It's just like parenting, there's no difference, right? And then we're gonna talk about your children's learning styles. We're gonna do a quiz together. And then we're gonna look at curriculums and what fits your children's specific learning styles. That's what the second booklet is, and we'll get to that later. It's all about different, I picked the top 5 curriculums based on subjects, sticking to primary subjects like math, language arts. We've got some history and science in there. And then I have a section in there about neurodivergent learners as well. And then also at the end, I also show the top 3 online programs. Okay, so let's look at this first page right here. Find your why. So why are you or did you consider homeschooling? And I want you to take just a minute and just put some notes down there for yourself. Okay, so number 2, what are your biggest fears right now? We want to name them and talk about them and not be afraid to mention them. And there's no judgment, there's no wrong answers. Usually if we name our fears, we can address them. Okay, so then on the next page, number 3 asks, what excites you most about this journey? And this is a powerful one because you're going to want to repeat this to yourself, especially on those hard days. What is it that really excites you most? All right, and then number 4, picture a joyful homeschool day. So kind of get that in your mind. Well, what does it look like? And you can keep adding to these lists too. Okay, and then lastly, your why statement. Think about everything that you've just written and write one statement that is your why statement. Just write your why in a statement. Okay, good. All right, so this next step, this is really important. This is where we're going to do the quiz together, and you're going to think of one of your children while you take the quiz, and you'll do the other at home, okay? All right, so first of all, we have 3 main types of learners that we're going to address today. You have a visual learner where they're going to want more color and charts and visual structures in their curriculum and however you teach them, their strengths. That's what their strengths are. You've got the auditory, do great with read-alouds, discussions, conversations, and they're just going to be a sponge in that type of environment. And then your kinesthetic learner, they're very hands-on. Like for math, they would probably want manipulatives, and they're usually very active. So lots of movement in their days is critical. So frequent breaks, lots of movement. Let's start this quiz, discover your child's learning style. Try to, when I read the question, we're going to do it together, what is your first response? So now what I want you to do on this next page, it's going to have you add up your total. So how many A's, how many B's, how many C's? Let's do that. Okay, so how to read these results. For 10 or more in one letter, they're a strong dominant in that type of learner. If you have 2 letters that are kind of close together, they're a blend learner. And actually, to be honest with you, most of us are blend learners. We're not like just all one way. We have some blend. And then fairly even across all of them, you have a really flexible learner. And those can be kind of fun too. We'll use that to look at curriculum fit. So now talking about curriculum that fits each learning style, this is really important though, because this is where so much of the confusion and overwhelm comes from. I hear parents all the time, the first thing, it's like the shiny new thing in the room. And on our homeschool groups, you see it all the time. What curriculum? If I have this kind of child, what curriculum? And the really hard part is, I can tell you all day long what works for our home. You have something that works for your home. They're going to have something that works for their home. And it's not going to be the same, nor should it be. No 2 homeschool families will ever look the same. They shouldn't look the same. I don't want you comparing yourself to me or comparing yourself to her, because all that comparison does, it just robs you of your joy of this journey. Trust your gut, trust yourself. This is the work that you're doing up front so that you know. Let's look at the 3 mistakes to avoid. You want to avoid buying curriculum before you know how your child learns, which we just talked about. picking what worked for somebody else's, we talked about that, and spending top dollar before you even know if it fits. I often use the analogy that picking out curriculum is no different than if we were to go to a shoe store and buy shoes without even sizing our child's feet. That wouldn't make any sense. We'd bring that home, you wouldn't know if it's the right fit, and the curriculum is the same exact way. So a lot of these reputable curriculum companies, they offer you samples or a time period. And I encourage you to absolutely use that, because you don't want to buy a whole year of curriculum and get it home and you're like, this just is not working. Don't ever be married to a curriculum. If you feel like your child is struggling and it's not working for them, it's okay to cut it and run. Get a different one. Don't ever be loyal to a curriculum just for the sake of it, because that struggle that you're going to have for the rest of the year, it's not worth it. And even if I know the fear is, because I did this too, and I've done this before, where it was mid-year and I'm noticing this is not working. I know that feeling. It's a little hard because you're like, number one, I've spent the money on it. And number two, isn't this going to kind of mix us up because you're going to start a different curriculum? No, it won't. And you'll be better off on the other side for it. Okay. The free signed book giveaway. Malia, this is yours. Congratulations. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what you think of it. We covered the first part. You were able to leave today with your roadmap started. And I'm just a phone call, a text, a message away. And I hope to support you. You have the first part of your roadmap built. When you read the Homeschool Roadmap, that'll help answer and give you so many more tools and resources. So congratulations, and I'm so glad that you came today, and I love meeting your kiddos too. And I have more available of the Homeschool Roadmap. Feel free. You don't have to, there's no pressure today. And also it's available still on Amazon. And so please spread the word and share it so that it can get into the hands of other moms just like you that need this information. Happy homeschooling. I'm so glad that you all came today. Thank you.